Have you ever wondered what would happen if beings of light, immortal, powerful, closer to God than we could imagine, chose to break the law of heaven? The Book of Enoch tells us exactly what happened. They were called the Watchers, angels appointed to observe humanity, to watch over the unfolding of life on earth. But their name became a curse, because what began as guardianship turned into rebellion. The story begins on Mount Hermon. The Watchers looked down from heaven and saw the beauty of human women. Desire burned within them. One of their leaders, Shemihaza, hesitated, fearing the consequence of such a betrayal, but others urged him on. "Let us all swear an oath," they said, "and bind ourselves together by curses, so that none of us will turn back from this decision." And so 200 descended. Bound by oath, they crossed the threshold, leaving heaven for earth. They took wives, broke the law, and in doing so, tore open a wound in creation. From this union came the Nephilim. They were giants, towering above mankind, half angel, half human. But they were not heroes, they were predators. They consumed the food of men until none was left. Then they turned on the people themselves. They devoured flesh, shed blood, and even began to consume one another. The Book of Enoch describes the earth groaning under their violence. Humanity cried out, and even the heavens trembled at the corruption unleashed. But the Watchers did more than corrupt flesh. They corrupted knowledge. Each brought secrets that humanity was never meant to hold. Azazel taught men how to forge swords, knives, shields, and breastplates, introducing organized war. Others taught enchantments, sorcery, astrology, and the movements of the stars. Some revealed how to use roots and herbs for occult purposes, and some even taught women the use of cosmetics, jewelry, and the art of seduction. To us, these may sound harmless or even useful, but in Enoch's telling, they were catastrophic. These gifts advanced humanity far too quickly without the wisdom to wield them. They twisted desire, fueled vanity, and turned men into killers. Forbidden knowledge, once released, could never be contained. The result was chaos. Violence filled the earth. Blood was spilled without end. The giants ruled as tyrants. Humanity fell under the spell of corruption, worshiping vanity and power instead of truth. The Watchers thought they had given gifts, but what they gave was poison, and heaven saw it all. The archangels, Michael, Raphael, Gabriel, and Uriel, looked down in horror. They carried humanity's cries to the throne of the Most High. And a decree was given. Judgment must come. The Watchers would be bound. The Nephilim would be destroyed. The world itself would be cleansed in a flood. One by one, the rebel angels were named, their crimes recorded. Azazel was singled out as the great corrupter, cast into the desert, bound hand and foot, covered in darkness until the final judgment. The rest were thrown into caverns beneath the earth, chained in fire and shadow, awaiting the day of reckoning. Their children, the Nephilim, would destroy one another in civil war before the waters of the flood washed them away forever. But not all of them. Their spirits, the Book of Enoch says, would remain, disembodied, restless, cursed to wander the earth as unclean spirits, what later traditions call demons. Think about that. The Book of Enoch doesn't just tell us where giants came from, it tells us where demons came from. Not fallen angels, but the spirits of the Nephilim, children of heaven and earth, left behind to haunt the world. If true, then every possession, every haunting, every torment described in Scripture could trace back to the Watchers' rebellion. This is not just mythology, it is a worldview. It is a revelation of cosmic law. Break the boundary, and reality itself collapses into corruption. But what if the Watchers were not only myth? Across the world, stories of beings who descended from the heavens, who gave forbidden gifts, who fathered giants and kings, echo through cultures. The Titans of Greece, the Anunnaki of Mesopotamia, the Apkallu sages, the Rephaim and Anakim of Canaan, even the stories of Native American giants. Could these be distorted memories of the same event? Could the Watchers be the missing link between the myths of gods and the legends of giants? The Book of Enoch dares to say yes. Now let me pause here. If you try to read the Book of Enoch on your own, you'll notice it's not easy. Its language is strange, its imagery overwhelming. That's why seekers have been working to decode it, turning visions into meaning, symbols into principles. I found a guide called the Book of Enoch Decoded, the Watchers, the Nephilim, and the Secrets of Heaven. It doesn't rewrite the book, it opens it. It helps you see how these forbidden stories apply today, how they whisper laws about power, corruption, and renewal. If you're curious, I've placed the link in the description and the first comment. Think of it as a lantern for your own journey. Because when knowledge has been buried this deep, sometimes you need a map to dig it out. So why does the story of the Watchers matter today? Because it's not just ancient history, it's archetype. It is the eternal warning. Power without wisdom corrupts. Knowledge without alignment destroys. Desire without restraint devours. The Watchers are not only angels who fell, they are symbols of every age where the sacred boundary is broken, where humanity reaches for what it is not ready to hold and suffers for it. And if you look at our own time, where technology races faster than wisdom, where power is hoarded by the few, where corruption spreads through systems, you can see the shadow of the Watchers everywhere. We may not call them angels anymore, but the pattern is the same. This is why the Book of Enoch was erased. It revealed too much. It pulled back the curtain on cosmic rebellion, forbidden knowledge, and the true cost of power. It told us not just about the past, but about the cycles that repeat. And in those cycles, the Watchers are always waiting. In our next episode, we will journey with Enoch himself into heaven. We will see what he saw, the throne of God, the secrets of stars and time, and the laws of reality hidden in his visions. Until then, remember, knowledge is power, but hidden knowledge is transformation. Welcome to Occultus.